3, 2, 1, go. Hey, it is 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Dave Glovin, Boogie with the Bull. Tuesday Night Live with us, Jenn, the homeschooling mom, Woodruff, Gerry Michaels may stop by, Randy Rhodes may stop by. If you're in the live chat and you want to come on and stop by, you're more than welcome to do that too. We're live on the Dave Glovin profile here on Facebook, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Both have live chats. So you are more than welcome to join us over there or watch it on Facebook for a minute, then go over to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, subscribe, and like it over there. What's new and exciting where you are, Miss Jenn?
Well, my son that no, stop. That's so funny. My son that just got married, him and
Yes.
his wife are moving out of their apartment to a townhouse. It's really nice. It's so much more room. Now, listen to this. They have to move out of their apartment because the landlord they came up with all these new rules, like they cannot have a barbecue on their balcony anymore. Like it's a
Yep,
fire hazard.
it
So
is.
the whole place is not allowed to have their barbecues outside on their balconies. It's not like they have a backyard. The
It's a
sec
stupid it's a stupid rule, but it is a fire hazard.
anyhow,
Depending on how they built them, you know.
right. Well, then the next thing is when you walk down the hall to go to their apartment, they would put everybody has like uh what is that? It's like a mat to brush
Yep,
off your shoes before you go and you knock the dirt off your shoes before you walk into the
right.
apartment. Well, now they're not allowed to have that, and they're getting citations on the door handles of their apartment if they have a mat in front of it because it's a trip hazard. And then on top of those two rules that are
There's
ridiculous,
ways to there's ways to fix that if they didn't care. They could go by
I
or have maintenance go by and drop a screw in each corner that's strong enough to hold it down
No
and
kidding. And
and
going
do
into
that.
the when you're going into the building, it's this huge building, lots of units.
Yep,
There's this really thick mat that they put out that has the name of their apartment building. It's called the
yep.
Lofts. Well, it's like you got to step up. It's a good inch and a half to 2 inches. This is like a really big rubber mat.
Agreed.
And I'm thinking, if that's not a trip hazard, I don't know what is. But they also doubled their rent. So they're like paying.
They doubled the rent.
Yeah. They're like up to
That's only
17.
because BlackRock went bankrupt and new BlackRock bought out BlackRock
Oh, it's
and
sick. So it's over $1,700 a month.
over
And I'm like, what?
$1,700 a month.
Yeah, they can't do that. Nobody can.
Hey,
That's how they're emptying out. I We thought it was riffraff back when it was
I'm
when it
sorry,
was
Chuck.
us.
Good evening, Chuck. I'm glad you're here. Izzy Wilshire must be on the
Hi,
ground somewhere
Izzy.
or paid for in-flight Wi-Fi and is probably watching us on a. I hope the whole plane isn't watching us, Izzy. That would be kind of embarrassing, but I'm glad to see that you are
Awesome.
safe and hopefully not flying over Florida or grounded here in Florida tonight. Uh, Yep. I hope that you are safe. Chuck Cook, I'm glad you're watching. But like I said, everybody's welcome to come here and watch and just take a moment away from the fact that Florida may be off the map tomorrow. Take a moment from wherever Milton can go from here. It's funny since they named it Milton. Every time I've heard somebody say Milton, all I see is Milton Berle dancing around in my head in a dress like Uncle Milty used to do.
Oh, lovely.
Izzy is enjoying a day off. Good for you, Izzy. I'm
Awesome.
glad. I'm glad because from what the air angels tell me, you work very, very, very hard.
She's busy a lot.
You are busy a lot, and I know that the job was really important to you getting it, and I'm glad. I'm glad things are going good. William Grant is watching. That only means that William Grant is not in the live chat. So, William, get your rear end into the live chat and enjoy it like the rest of us. But you were saying, Jen, I'm sorry before I cut you off.
Oh, No, stop that. How expensive everything is getting, and so no, you're fine. But that's what happened to us when we had our first apartment. It was ridiculous, and I said, "Oh, they're trying to get rid of the riffraff," and Jesse's like, "Yep, that's us too," because it went so high. We were like choking that it was going up to $1,000. Now this is back in what? Oh, it was in like 98, and it was terrifying that our rent was, because we when we first moved into this apartment, it was what, $460, and we were
Yep.
like, "Oh, this is cool," but it
I don't
was
think I don't think I ever had an apartment or even the condo that was more than $1,000. Maybe the condo might have been because the condo was in a really, really cool.
what
Uh,
year?
oh God, this was back in probably the mid '80s,
Oh,
82,
okay.
83, 84. I was working in radio. I was making good money. I had the limousine business going part time,
Right.
and I've told that story before. Uh, we lived in a building where all the garages for the buildings were on the one side of the building in the
Right.
fire lane that went around the complex. My garage was in the exact middle, and because my door wouldn't close flat, my garage door wouldn't close flat, they would fine me like $50 a day because the HOA rules say your garage door has to close flat. Now, what really never made any sense to me was the lady that owned the condo that I lived in just happened to be the president of the HOA. She was so busy in her real job that she very rarely made it to an HOA meeting. But I finally got tired of the fines and I went to the HOA and I said, I have talked to the city fire marshal, the county fire marshal, the state fire marshal, the the building and zoning commissioner for the city that we're in, the mayor for the city that we're in, everybody, and got everybody to sign off on a plan that if I changed my garage track, I think it was like 4.5 inches, and got a door that closed in sections, it would have rolled out, gone down, gone out maybe the 3 inches that it wouldn't close, and then closed. It would not have blocked any EMS equipment from getting in and out of the complex, or I mean, in and out that side of the building. And I was willing to pay for it myself because the lady, like I said, she was the president of the HOA, but she said to me, if you pay to do it, I'm more than willing to sign off and let you do it.
Were you running your limousine business out of your
No,
apartment?
I used to drive one of the limos home at night, and
Okay.
when I closed my garage door, like I said, it stuck out at an angle about 6 inches into the fire lane, but not enough to block anything. But the HOA, like I said, was sending me $50 notices every day.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
bad.
do this. And I said, well, I can. And I came to them and I talked to them about it, and they voted not to approve the plan. So I ended up moving. But that's
Good
the
for
only time I
you.
think we spent. Well, the point was before I went on the
Good
tangent
for
was
you.
I think that's the only time in my life I've ever paid more than $1,000 for a
Mm,
place to live.
wow. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's scary, yeah. But these poor kids, they just got married. It's nothing like it used to be. Not like it was great back in the day. But our first apartment was $460. And
yeah.
now I'm like, really? Are people making this much money that they can raise apartments to be over $1,000?
I think there's just
Maybe
so much of a
I'm out of
demand for
touch.
them these days. There's just
A
so much
what?
of a demand, so much of a demand for apartments
Yes, I
that
see.
maybe the way they go through who's qualified and who isn't is by like raising the rent or claiming that it costs more to operate the building. I don't know.
Okay, so let me tell you about this meme that I got today. I didn't make it. It's funny. It's like the melancholy emotional Kermit the Frog. He has his hand
Yep.
against the window and it's raining. And it used to be the one that said, I wonder who is taking a shower with a mask on right now when we had to wear the masks a couple of years ago. Well, now it's saying, why don't we give the people from the hurricane survivors a night in a five-star hotel and food
Yeah.
and water and yeah, and a card with $750, and which is terrible. You should give them 750. But no kidding. So what do you think of the FEMA debacle? That was just terrible. I mean, it was like
I
Joe Biden said we had to draw from FEMA to house and feed the immigrants. And I'm like, they're not immigrants, they're illegals.
and
But
my response to Joe would have been raising my hand politely and letting him go. Letting him go. I'm not going to let you talk, Dave. You're from Boogie with the Bull, and you don't like me, so I'm just not going to let you talk. And then I go, no, I'll be nice, Joe. $1 billion to house
right,
immigrants. Let's just agree for a minute that they're immigrants, Joe. $1 billion to house immigrants in this country while you try to get them settled so that you can pay another $1 billion to support them while they're here, or
right.
$1 billion to take care of Hurricane Helene damage, Hurricane Milton damage that is going to happen, and
Right.
then maybe take the $750 million that might be left over and house veterans,
Right.
poor Americans who can't afford to have a home over their head because they're paying everything in taxes to support people who shouldn't even be here. I mean, enough. I like as he says, FEMA
It,
is funneling emergency money to aliens. You know,
right. Feels
Nancy
like that.
Pelosi said once, we can give any agency all the money they ask for. Once we give it to them, we can't take it back. So that means they shouldn't be allowed to ask for more than they need, and they should have to show how they're using it. And I can't imagine if FEMA went to Congress and said, we're going to give the Biden administration $1 billion so they can support illegal immigrants while they're here. Congress would have said, okay. And as I put on a post earlier, they took $1 billion from FEMA because FEMA had $1 billion to spend to support these people. Wouldn't it been cheaper to use as much, maybe use, I don't know, maybe $100 million to put them all on planes and send them back to Mexico?
It is cheaper to deport than to support. So I agree with you.
I mean, I,
It's it's
I don't
crazy.
have any problem if they all want to do what they should have done, which is go back to Mexico, contact the United States Embassy in Mexico, and say, we want to legally enter and claim asylum in the United States. Wait in Mexico until they get told, yes, on this day, cross the border at this checkpoint and say that you are here to throw yourself on the ground and claim asylum. And then do that. Take the class to become a citizen, get a job, get a place to live. Maybe we'll give you help getting a job, getting a place to live. But no,
Yeah,
they
I
spent
don't
$1
really
billion to support illegal immigrants when they could have taken maybe, again, a couple of $100 million of it and raised Social Security.
no, this is what I think the thinking is behind that. If
Okay.
they're gonna, it's the same thing they do for people that are on welfare. They'll give to people on welfare before they continue the promise they made with Social Security with elderly people
But
because
see,
they've
that's
already no, they what they want is tax. They want your taxes on April 15th. And the elderly are done working, they're retired, they're not putting into the system. Well, because they've already had their whole life and now they're just collecting their Social
they
Security.
took all the taxes that I paid into it, I'm
Right.
sure, and invested that money in a high yield bank account that hopefully the interest that rolls off of it every year is enough to pay everybody the least amount of money that they have to pay them under Social Security. I can understand that, but I think now your son and your daughter-in-law who are working now and building a family, they should be able to opt out of Social Security.
Oh, that's a good point. Really?
Keep the money themselves and do whatever they want with it. Invest it. If you want to get, if I was working, getting paid hypothetically, say $1,500 a month, and I'm paying $1,500 a month to Social Security, it's my responsibility to make sure that when I hit 65, I have enough money to survive on.
Mm-hmm.
Or, spend it now and I don't have enough money, and who knows what will happen when I'm 65. I'll be living on the streets. I'll get deported because they're going to put somebody in the nice hotel room that they pay, that they give me. I'm still convinced they brought like 50 million people, or allowed 50 million people to enter this country illegally.
Right.
People that look like men of military age
Mm-hmm.
fight, as well as old enough to vote. They brought 50 million people here, hopefully to register them Democrat, and then around 1 o'clock in the morning on November 6th,
find another box of ballots. Yeah.
Did, stop counting the ballots the right way, the right ballots the right way, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, they're going to say Joe Biden won his second term.
Oh, God, help us now.
To me,
thank God he dropped out.
I mean, Kamala won her term.
No.
Both candidates right now, because if Kamala wins, there's probably just as many people that will be out there trying to gun for her as there will be people trying to gun for President Trump if he is reelected. It's a very sad thing.
Right. Who would be gunning for Kamala? Because the Republicans are too really.
I'm sure there's.
There's got to be a bad apple. I know.
If you want to say that there are a bunch of Democrat crackpots gunning for Trump, you have to kind of figure
they're on the other side too.
There's a bunch of Republicans that, or not registered people, but hate Trump, so they're going to try to get him. There's got to be people on the other side, on our side, that feel the same way. Is it wrong to go after gunning them? Is shooting and killing the president of the United States going to stop our problems? No. Is Randy Rhodes and what other people are saying, maybe it's time to return to a monarchy, going to fix our problems? I think absolutely not. Why? Because George Washington had a chance to become the Washington dynasty and turned it down simply by saying, I'm pretty sure, this is what we just left.
No kidding. That's good.
If I brought all these people here, made them all citizens, and became their king.
You're just repeating a disaster. Yeah. It repeats.
Hold on just a minute. I got to do this because Gerry has been listening patiently in the green room and Randy has been listening patiently.
Hi, guys. This is great.
How are you, Gerry? How is the weather down in your part of Florida?
Oh, it was beautiful. Today is like 60 degrees this morning. Sun was shining. Burned some garbage. A lot of plastic, a couple of batteries. It was great. Doing my part to ruin the environment.
There's a green fog above his house, but that's
how you guys doing?
Green fog above Gerry's house.
No, with burning batteries and plastic. You never know.
Well,
let's see.
I got car batteries and mower batteries. Or my mower batteries actually, and they got to go somewhere. So I just
Izzy, do you want to come on the broadcast tonight, or do you just want me to read all your read all your comments? I don't mind doing it, but you're more than welcome to come on. If you got a camera and a mic, I'll send you a link, and you're more than welcome to join us. But let me know. But in the meantime, take every penny from that pandering creep Zelensky. Yep, we should do that. Take
Well,
every penny back from panhandling Zelensky. We should do that. Give him all the boot. We should do that.
so what do you guys think about this Hurricane Helena being manufactured? Do you think it happened, or do you think it was an act of God? Or do you think we like encouraged it by trying to stop it? I did see Twisters, the new twist. What is it? The new one, the new Twister movie that just came out, and they did talk about manipulating the tornado to make it like heavy, so it had to like stop and just drop by adding sodium something to the air. They would like shoot it up into the tornado. And I thought, I hope you know what you're doing because this could really backfire. And if they did manipulate the weather, whatever they did really backfired because this was terrible. It wasn't the category 4 that was so bad, but it was the flash flooding with the wind and the rain and the water everywhere afterwards. And I hope that doesn't happen to you in Florida. Do you think it was manufactured? Or is it an act of God? No, it just happened. Okay. Me too.
No, Florida has been getting hurricanes since Florida's been Florida. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Here's what I know. I don't know enough about it to tell you, but I can tell you this: we've been getting for centuries. We've been getting hurricanes. We first moved here for like 30 years. They didn't have one, which was
Right.
highly unusual. Now, I will say, every year we're usually getting at least one. One year, I think it was '05, we got 5 different spots.
Oh wow.
So it just, I don't think so. Where I'm at, I don't think that it's going to be horrible. But if it does hit where they say it's going to hit, which is Tampa Bay, and it stays a 5 or a 4, it's going to be devastating. It's going to take out Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to be years recovering.
Wow. Wow.
So
What do you think about the Florida
it is.
Keys? Are those they're little
I
islands?
think.
Do you think those are okay?
Yeah, I think you're stupid if you live there. I got to be truthful. I mean, people have a good time in the Florida Keys. It's a different place. It really
Mhm.
is, with a lot of different kind of people. It really is. But
Right.
you know, to live there, you ain't paying me enough money to live there and go through every time there's a hurricane. You're going to get hit with something. Now, I do
Oh
find it a
man.
little weird that a hurricane developed off the coast of Mexico, basically, but that's kind of odd. Um,
Right.
Never seen that. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing that. Usually they come straight from Africa where nothing good ever comes. But you know, I don't know. Maybe Randy knows more about the weather manipulation than I do.
But now Boogie with the old meteorologist, Randy Rhodes.
I've been trying to figure out the best setup for my microphone. I'm getting all kinds of text messages saying, I can't hear you or you sound like shit. So how do I sound to you guys?
You actually sound good.
I don't
It's
sound like
okay.
shit?
Yep.
Okay, I'll leave it where it is then. Anywho, okay, weather report for today is get out the umbrella and shove it up your ass because it's not going to do a damn thing for you. They're calling for like 15 inches of rain on top of the 20 some odd inches of rain that came already. The first storm hasn't been cleaned out yet as far as all the debris. So the second one is going to cause even more catastrophe. And I I'm of the belief that these two storms are man-made. I'm just seeing too much. Two back-to-back hurricanes with the intensity that they have to wipe out parts of Florida. especially where all the damn gold and lithium and quartz and all the other good shit is. People are experiencing hurricanes. We've never had hurricanes before. I think that Trump going down there put a fire underneath the administration's ass to get them to start doing something. I understand there's over 2,000 military soldiers there. I guess they're there to help to clear out the debris and do rescue work. I understand there's some Black Hawk helicopters there. They're supposedly doing rescue work and taking food to people. I understand the National Guard's out there in force. I think that's like 20 some thousand National Guards out there. There's thousands of federal employees, which I don't know that they're there for. Maybe to sit down on a typewriter and take your information, for your insurance purposes. I understand that the insurance companies are taking the hard hit for all the claims that are coming in. I guess they weren't prepared for it, and there's a lot of money's being spent. Supposedly, Biden said that the federal government is going to pay 100% for all the debris removal for 6 months. After that, you're screwed.
At the same time, I'm sorry, Randy. At the same time, they're going to pay off how many more loans? Did you hear about that? This one side of his mouth, he's saying that about covering 100% of blah blah blah, and then he's like, "Oh, and also we're going to cover 20,000 more student loans."
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get votes. What do you think?
Well, Governor DeSantis was very clear about the debris removal because evidently he and Kevin, his emergency management czar, a good guy though, so czar may not be appropriate. They evidently went to privately owned debris places with the state police and literally cut the locks off the gates so the trucks could go in and drop. And he said, I saw at one press conference, he said basically to anyone watching, come after us when this is done. But we got a state that's under emergency. We got 24, 48, 72 hours to get this stuff in the ground and buried. And we did what we had to do.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Did you
Gina
see
Scott
that?
says his son and her son and wife live in St. Augustine. He's lived there long enough. He's watching it closely. Where exactly is St. Augustine between you and I, Gerry? Or is it down around you?
You're muted.
I believe it's 178 miles south of me.
Okay.
The oldest city in the United States, St. Augustine.
Okay.
The Spanish, when the Spanish owned Florida, that's where they settled. There's an old fort and everything there.
Okay.
Wow.
I had to change the subject a little bit. I had an unusual visitor today at my front door. We don't normally get people at our door. We don't.
Because no one likes you. Yeah, no one likes you.
That's it. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. But
they didn't like the tree that you made for them.
Ha 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 ha! I love you too. No, I don't.
You don't love me.
But anyways, guys, I was surprised. I opened up the door, and here's this big guy. This is football kind of big, and I'm wondering who the hell are you? And I didn't say it. I wondered it. So he had stuff in his hands. Obviously, he was peddling something. And here he was peddling for Trump. But the he started talking, and I immediately heard a Southern accent, right? And I said, "Are you perhaps?" I have no filters, so I said to him, "I said, are you Southern?" He said, "Well, yes, I am." I said, "Whereabouts?" He said, "Tennessee." And I thought you were from Tennessee. I just kind of picked that up, and so I said, "You know what? I do genealogy. Have you done yours?" No, I'm interested. I love to know if I got any Confederate soldiers in my background. I said, "Well, here, give me your information, and we'll talk then." So
Come to
he gave
you.
me his
Wow.
information, and I'll be reaching out to him later, and we'll see what happens.
Why was he coming to your house in the first
Handing
place?
out brochures for Trump.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Pretty
I was
cool,
like,
huh?
that was great. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, the person who came to our house last, it was like 11 o'clock last night, and he's knocking on the door. And I'm like, dinner was that bad? Someone had to call DoorDash because it happens sometimes. Josh downstairs. Anyways, so this guy's there, and Jesse's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was just walking by your house, and did you know your dome light on this car is on?" And Jesse's like, "Creepy, no, but thank you." So I don't know. It's a very old car. Everything, all of our cars are old. We own them because we bought them 25 years ago. No, I'm kidding. Not really,
The
but yeah,
car was
they're
a car.
yeah, now they just nickel and dime us, but we own them. But anyhow, the dome light was on. But what freaked me out, and Jesse too. So when the girls go out to go to work or anything, he's like, "Can I walk you out there?" And they're like, "Sure." It's only what 10 feet from the house, but it's terrifying. Who walks down the road and stops and knocks on someone's door and says, "Your car's dome lights"? I mean, that was nice, but yeah, it's broken. It doesn't shut all the way, and it happens. It was weird.
Jane O'Malley points out, did you see Peter Ducey ask uh,
Yes.
Abdul Pierre that Congress
Abdu.
doesn't have to come back to approve more money for Lebanon, but they had to come back to approve more money for North Carolina. And of course, she closed the binder and walked out.
Yep.
Shut up, Peter. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, I love watching Peter because he knows how to push
Oh, I
her
know,
buttons.
I know. I was just
Uh,
being sassy because I know.
I liked it. I used to watch Fox. I don't anymore. And but when I was watching Fox, his father has the morning show with the Daily Two People, and I really liked him, for a while, and then they went to the left. But his son at the time was very young, and he was doing like the out in the field kind of reporting, simplest things, right? Just getting his foot in the door. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I mean, they look like they're identical twins. And I said, you know what? One day he is going to be where his father is right now, and he's getting there. He's making his mark with Fox News, and he's not afraid to open his mouth in favor of anything conservative, Republican, and Trump. He hasn't been fired yet. But that time is coming because obviously the owners of Fox now is a left wing liberal idiot. And that's it's a shame, but that's what it is.
it is what it is. Gerry,
It is what it is.
anything you'd like to add?
I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't watch anything like I none of it. I don't watch Joe Biden when he makes a speech. I certainly don't watch Kamala Harris. I don't watch the Trump rallies anymore because they tend to be the same every time, and that's boring to me. Um, I want to vote for him. Obviously, I want him in office to enact his policies to where we can manage to live through a month without starving or running out of gas or any of those things. I want to see good things done for the country, and mostly what I want to see is people in handcuffs. If he doesn't put some
I want
well-known people in handcuffs, if the Epstein list doesn't come out where people are just at least disgraced out of public life, so on and so forth, I'm going to call his next presidency a failure. I'm sorry. Big things need to happen to change this country, and it cannot just last 4 years. It has to last into ongoing years after that. Um, we are in a war now. It's a war of words. It's a war of. It's basically a war of attrition because nobody's winning. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk, the left is winning quick, farther than the right. It's slowly turning. That cake guy from Colorado finally, after 15 years, had a case against him dropped because he wouldn't bake a freaking cake for some whack job.
Oh,
Okay, but you know what? People need to go to in handcuffs. And be tried and prosecuted. And Epstein's list needs to come out, and the FBI needs to be completely revamped. Every three-letter agency we don't need needs to go, especially like the Board of Education. The IRS needs to be revamped. The tax system needs to be revamped. And we absolutely need to start following the laws on immigration. The ones we already have are just fine. We need to deport as many of these people out of this country as humanly possible. I guarantee you, it's way more than we can. It's probably close to 100 million people in this country that are illegal or don't belong here, or DACA or any of that crap. And the best way to do that would be cut their benefits, and no free shit no more. Only people who pay into Social Security get to fucking collect it, and that kind of stuff. And he proved the last time how quickly he changed things. He made I didn't need anybody to tell me who was corrupt. I knew who was corrupt. It was all of them. All right, that's what everybody says. He showed us who the corrupt are. I already knew that. What I needed from him was and he did, was to show everybody how quickly these politicians have been lying forever. Oh, it'll take forever to do that, and get blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Doing good for the country does not take long. I would like to know if there really are aliens. I would like to know what happened to John F. Kennedy. I'd like to know a lot of things that have been kept from the public. I want to know what happened in Benghazi. I want to know who actually was at fault in Benghazi. I want to know who left the cocaine in the freaking White House. I want a lot of shit declassified and put out in public. I want this government that we currently have to be on the hot seat so hot that half of them quit.
Wow.
That's what I want.
That's good.
And I got to tell you, he has the power to do these damn things. And if he doesn't, I'm going to call, just making the economy better for 4 years and just, showing America isn't somebody to screw with. Okay, is not enough this time. It's not.
Go ahead, Randy.
I was just going to say, stay tuned, because I'm going to be coming up with a new broadcast dealing with aliens and UFOs. I decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to sasay into the world of the unknown.
Okay.
There's just too much going on. I'm seeing too much. I'm seeing too many people of prestige coming out with proof, with evidence, with video to say that it's fake and not real. So I'm going to, as soon as I get some more money, I'm going to start buying some books, I'm going to download some information, and start doing that. My microphone is picking up my wife, and my daughter's voices from downstairs. I got to make some adjustments here. This is ridiculous.
We're not hearing it. You might be hearing it.
I'm hearing voices in my head.
Okay.
Anyways, but yeah. So as far as the other people, I don't know about those who are shot and killed and buried in under a cement building somewhere. That would take a little bit more work. But I like the idea, and I mentioned this before in Dave's show, and he didn't quite agree with me, and that's fine. And Dave, it was his show, but I think in order for this country to maintain a continuous flow of good government, we need to get Trump in first and foremost. We need to convince him to put the powers into play to become king of America. And that way he has his entire lifetime to do what
Jerry.
he knows is best
Jerry
for the
doesn't
country.
agree.
And, he will be able to, continue to make this country better, make it stronger, make it wealthier. His love for the citizens of this country, not the illegals, um, far exceeds anything. And then when he dies, his elder son steps in as king, and we know right now that he has the same beliefs, the same uh, 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 backing of the people, and it's like a copycat of his dad. So we'll have all those years of a continuous person in charge who loves his country and says screw the rest of the world for right now. And that thing, the idea of someone being in there for 4 years, maybe 8 if you're lucky, to try and turn things around and keep it in that direction is nuts. Because as we've seen, the 4 years that Trump was in office, he did phenomenal work, made his country strong, made our enemies cower, made us a wealthier nation. And then his election was stolen, and within a matter of a couple of days, everything that he did was thrown in the trash can, and our country went to shit. So we need a lengthier
Okay.
person.
Now, hold on a second. The order to reply is going to be Jerry, followed by Gerry, followed by Gerry, followed by Gerry, followed by Gerry, followed by Jenn, maybe followed by Gerry, and then back to Randy. Now go ahead, Gerry.
The hell?
There's a lot of Jerrys.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that at all. Um, I think personally, if we start putting some of these politicians in jail and holding their feet to the fire, I think things will straighten out relatively quickly. Because the politicians that need to go to jail are not the guys we never heard of, like from Wyoming. Okay, they're the guys we have heard of from South Carolina, Kentucky, New York, Florida. All right, people like that. The McConnells, and people need to be the elites outside of the government. They need to go to jail. If they were on that damn island, they need to go to jail. We are a constitutional republic, and there is no reason for us not to stay that way. And we need to revamp the law books and get rid of half the laws we have that are unconstitutional. I'm sorry, I may not be a constitutional expert as I see on TV every other day, but here's what I will tell you. All right, I can read it and understand it. All right, and I see people's rights being broken every single day, not only by the government, but all of its entities, all the way down to the police, all the way down to codes enforcement in cities where they go to your house and tell you what you can and cannot do. Okay, and then they fine you. Homeowners associations, as I heard Dave was talking about, every entity on this planet is telling us what we can and cannot do. And if you sign anything or buy something from them or whatever, you're at their mercy. We are at the mercy of the government. The government is supposed to be at the mercy of us.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Very
Simple
good.
as that. And having a king will do nothing but make it worse. Because that is why we had the Revolutionary War. Because the king was making, and the parliament over there was making all the decisions for us. I don't want anyone making decisions for me, period, about anything at all. Now, maybe you need advice. I will listen to advice. Doesn't mean I'm going to take it, but it means I will listen to it. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and Rainey's welcome to his opinion, whatever. I find it utterly ridiculous that Mitch McConnell can be in office for 25, 30, 40 years, but the president of the United States is only allowed 2 terms. Obama was right about maybe 3 things in his whole presidency, and one of them is win an election. The reason that we can't have a president more than 8 years is because of FDR, because he was in for 16. So the Republicans did something incredibly stupid, and they voted to keep him out. And you only had to deal with him for half the time. The problem is now we are dealing with people. I mean, look at our parents and their parents and their parents before them. Each generation has been less free since the dawn of this country.
Wow.
We are overtaxed, overruled, overlawed, regulated, over, everything. Taxed, fees, all kinds of fines, you name it. You break 10 laws a day you don't even know exist. They make perfect no sense, and it's just one more thing the government can put their thumb on your head. And it needs to end.
Wow.
Trump can do this country more good than any president has ever done for it. Or he can do just enough to get the people cheering, and they will, about how great things are going, leave office, and it all crumbles again. Those are the 2 choices. I am so sick of Trump cheerleaders. I really am. Because this time needs to be more than the first time. He needs to shut his mouth. Okay, quit name calling and just put his head down and go to work. Simple. Will it happen?
Jen?
I sincerely doubt it.
I think that I agree with you, and that's exactly why he won't be king, so to speak, or have a monarch. It's a good idea. However, he kind of set this up, and I've said it on the American Rebellion before. When he chose JD Vance, he kind of bought us 12 more years, because I think he'll be elected, and then JD Vance can take over, and he's going to be a two-term president. JD Vance will. So that's how I'm thinking. We're getting 3-4 terms right there, and if that doesn't fix things, then yeah, I would say we're doomed. But it will only fix things if they, meaning Trump and Vance, imply consequences. He even says he's the most consequential president, ever to run. And I'm like, okay, be consequential and tell these people, because the sergeant of arms in the White House, what is he doing? What good is he? He had many times he could have said, excuse me, the election's not correct. You have to come with me, sir. Oh, you're not allowed to do this. And I always say the same thing because it's the same number, so I'll never forget it. Article 4, Section 4 says that the government will protect us from invasions. And he's like changed the words, and it's just so bad. There are so many offenses, but he needs to be the consequential president that he said he was, and start locking people up for going against the Constitution. And then that would be fantastic, and it would pave the road for JD Vance. Did you guys see that debate between Vance and Walls, and what did you think? Dave.
I watched about 35 seconds of it.
Good night.
Decided that
I have
they call him
I
Tampon.
have a lot of
Basically decided that he should be the next spokesman for those. Go ahead, Gerry.
bad things happening in my head all the time, Jen. And I saw no reason to have nightmares the rest of my life. So I've chosen not to watch whatever his name is
Good
from
man.
what the hell is his name? Waltz
Tim
from
Walls.
Minnesota. Open his mouth. That's why I didn't watch the Kamala interview with 60 Minutes or with Walls and all that. It's simple. I cannot sit there and listen to these people anymore. I've been listening to them for so long, and you know what I hear? Remember Charlie Brown, the cartoons,
Wah, wah,
and
wah.
all the adult.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the
what I
teacher.
hear. That's what I hear because it's all lies and bullshit. It's nothing of
Wow.
substance. I mean, at least with Trump, when he does his speech and he very simplify. He simplifies what he wants to do, but he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and you have faith that he does because he's a businessman. He's been doing stuff with money his whole life, basically,
Right.
and so there's a level of, and then you saw what he did the first time. There is a level of trust that he can fix a lot of stuff. All right. But the rest of them, listen, every time they run for office, they got the answers to all the problems, but they never actually tell us what the answer is. And when they get in office, they don't actually do anything. I don't
Wow.
believe that
True.
just talking is working. I believe there needs to be some action, and we're not seeing it from any of them. So no, I don't watch or listen to these people anymore. Now, if I need to know who to vote for, I will go look up how they vote for stuff. Unfortunately, we are at a point now where we can only vote Republican. We cannot vote Democrat. We cannot. You cannot vote
Right.
independent. You cannot vote the Green Party or the freaking Red Party or the freaking communists or the, libertarians. You can't do any of that because all that does is take votes away from hopefully getting a few Republicans in there that aren't rhinos. And I don't know, maybe naked pictures of everybody else and make them do what you want. I don't know. But me, I ain't watching none of that crap. I've been doing
Wow.
this shit for 11, 12 years. You know what? It's the same garbage I was hearing under Obama from all of them. And still, it's the only thing that's different is it's gotten worse.
Mm.
I think Trump said it best in the Kamala Trump debate, where he said, she's been telling you what she wanted to do for 3.5 years now. Why didn't you do it? Actually, he looked at her and said, why haven't you done it? And I'm thinking, just like Gerry said, she's got to be thinking in her head at that moment, shut up, Donald, because the truth is I'm not going to do it when I'm president either.
Right. That's frustrating.
It's scary. It really is scary.
Earlier, Gerry said that he doesn't like people telling him what to do. And I hate to say it, but the people in office, the politicians, are essentially telling us what to do in various ways. You own property, okay, and you think this is it, and you're the king of your castle, blah 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 blah, and they decide they're going to put a road down the middle of your house, and they're going to say either you sell it and get out, or you will buy it at half the price. Um, the food, our livestock, it goes overseas to be processed and then brought back to be sold on our shelves. We don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, you're sending livestock over there. They don't have the same laws that we do. They're going to do what they're going to do to butcher them. They're going to send the fresh meat and the poultry and whatever else back to us to sit on the shelves and say, made in USA. And no, it's not. It might have been grown in USA, but it wasn't processed in USA. I mean, there's all different ways that this government is telling us how to live. I would have to say that, unless you're going to go off the grid and totally do without any type of government interference or support or whatever, you're never going to be in a position where you're going to live your life where someone is telling you not to do something their way. I mean, the Amish and the Mennonites, I think they come pretty damn close to being able to live life the way they want to, because they don't accept any money, any benefits from the government. They don't pay taxes. They don't pay for utilities. And they don't have income tax. The whole nine yards. They don't take anything from the government. Therefore, they can live for the most part the way they want to live. Now, obviously, there's some rules if they're selling their stuff, to the English people. But otherwise, um, uh, they are living life the way they want to. No one's telling them what to do, other than the elders and the bishops.
But see, my counter to that is that I'm on Social Security. I paid into it. It's my money. The government just decides how much I'm going to get every month, and they give it to me. But other than that, they don't have the right to tell me anything to do as far as I'm concerned. And if I'd had Jerry rolls his eyes, if I'd had my way when I started my business, I wouldn't have paid into Social Security. I would have just put it in the bank and let it grow interest and kept it for myself and not touched it until I hit 65.
Right.
Although I figured I
Well,
was
I
going to be
agree,
dead before I
Dave.
hit.
I first of all, we got to have laws, we got to have rules, we got to have regulations, and I agree with that. And there are certain things civilized society has to have. All right.
Right.
And I that's kind of like telling you what you can't do. But what are they telling you can't do? You can't like poison the water, the air, and the food. Well, the government's actually doing that. I'm not doing that. Okay,
Right.
I'm not doing any of that, but the government is. Okay, there needs to be first of all, half the regulations in this country need to go, half the rules in this country have to go, half the laws in this country have to go. We have 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 laws just for murder. Okay, you kill somebody, that should be one law. That's bad. Okay, we could literally get through life just following the Ten Commandments and be fairly decent society. Okay. But we're not following our own rules. The government is not following its own rules. So if the government isn't following its own rules, that is when society breaks down. And I agree
Mm.
with Randy. I mean, we do need a certain amount of the government telling us, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that or we shouldn't do this. But to the point they're doing it now is unreasonable. Now it's just a boot on your neck, and you pay taxes and shut the hell up. And
Right.
that's wrong. You know, I agree with Dave. Also, Social Security is a joke. How dare they tell us what we can have, and then turn around give it to a bunch of people who have never paid one thin dime into the
Yep.
system? And how dare they tell you that we're taking your money out of your paycheck that you earned and we're going to keep it and then use it for whatever we want. And if you're lucky, there'll be enough left for you when you're 65. Jen's kid just got married. All right, they'll be lucky by the time they're what is it, 67 or 8 or whatever the hell it is. They'll be lucky if there's enough money for Social Security. I questioned before Social Security how people retired. Maybe they did what Dave said, put it in the bank. I don't know. What I do know is the government is continually taking our money. They have no accountability for what they're doing with it. And then they have the balls to tell us what we can have. Sorry, not happening. It's like today I said I was burning some stuff out here. I'll burn what the hell I want. And you want to know why? Because the
You're
government does the
free.
same stuff. Yeah, and I'm not
Good.
paying $100 a month or 60, probably $80 a month now for them to come pick this shit up. Or I got to drive somewhere to take it there because some government tells me that's what I have to do. Screw you.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's a small, tiny thing. It doesn't mean nothing. But in the end, why would I care? Uh, Listen, this is how I live. If you are over on your property doing what you want to do and it ain't bothering me in any way, shape, or form, you're not doing it on my property at all. You're not screwing with me. None of that. Who in the hell am I to tell anyone what they can and cannot do? So who in the hell is anybody else to tell me?
Good point.
I did get a piece of good news today, which is doesn't happen that often, but I accept it when it happens.
Yep.
My health insurance, which I use a UPMC, um, they're actually going to start giving some money back to us beginning of the year. They increased all the benefits by thousands of dollars if I ever make use of them, and they're actually giving $54 a month back into our bank accounts, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
And they
Wow.
didn't raise the
All right.
price.
Very cool.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
I know earlier in the show we were talking about Nancy Pelosi and how you said, Dave, how she says when they allocate these funds to certain different categories, they cannot take it back. They can't take it out. But do you know what they do? It's like a bad boyfriend.
Well, they move it
Okay.
around,
No.
which is not. Which
So
is not
listen,
proper.
seriously,
No,
my
go ahead.
birthday is in December, and I wanted
Birthday.
so badly to see the Phantom of the Opera. And we were going to Canada. It was a bunch of friends, and we went there. And we were going to the Fantasia Theater to see the Phantom of the Opera, and it was so wonderful. And the person I was dating at the time was like, "Happy birthday, baby, and this is your Christmas present too." I was like, "Thanks." But that's how
Wow,
Nancy
that
Pelosi.
sounds like a let's go to bed kind of scenario. Oof.
Yeah, my birthday's like on the 4th, Christmas is on the 25th, but it's okay. It wasn't Jesse, thank God, of course.
Yeah.
This was like in the 80s. I don't want to talk about it. But anyhow, that's what they do. They give you money. What is she saying? Oh yeah, we're going to give all first-time homeowners, people putting down deposits on houses, $25,000. But you gotta pay it back.
You
I
gotta
mean,
pay it.
that's how rotten it is.
And
So
if you don't, your mortgage company takes it
yeah.
away. BlackRock, who wants to own the most single-family
Ooh.
homes in this country, will probably buy it for the $25,000 that you owe the federal government.
Right. So I told my son and his daughter, well, Jesse did too. He's like, we'll help you move, but I hope you like this a lot because this is fantastic. Don't get a house. Don't get anything. You have to put money down. And he even said, well, what about that 25,000? Jesse's like, don't trust them. If they're
No.
giving you anything, they'll want it back. Even though Nancy says, oh, no, we can't take anything back. Well, you do. That's basically what taxes are. And it's so wrong.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yep. I mean, we're lucky when it came to that because we live with family and we pay rent, but I mean we live with family and that's just the way
That's
just the way it
nice.
should be. It really should be. It really is the way it should be.
Darn it.
Izzy said to have a good evening. She had to go. And
Right.
Yeah, and I gotta go too.
Izzy stopped by. Randy, you're always welcome. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, if you are available.
If I'm awake and left through the night.
Florida is still here.
Yeah. I just the reason why is that and while you guys are yakking, I'm doing my
I know.
research stuff here, and it's like I just open up a ton of information about this one person's family, and it's amazing what you. if you take the time, I'm just overwhelmed with all these things I'm finding, and I just don't have enough time in my life to do it all. Anyways, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yeah, sure. If I'm awake and alive.
Yep, tomorrow at 10 a.m.
And Gerry, it's always nice to see you again. And Jenn,
You too, Randy.
Street Talk with Jenn and Randy, Thursdays at 10 o'clock.
Thursday, 10
Awesome.
o'clock.
No, it's 12 actually.
No, it's not 10 o'clock. Yeah.
It's 10 my time.
It's 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
Even I knew that.
And I am
not even on the
serious.
show
Jenn
and
and
I
I,
know that.
well, be quiet. Anyways, Jenn and I were talking about maybe getting together on another broadcast. I said, I was doing. I don't care if my clients are watching, but I have the on the road to discover ancestors Sundays at 7 o'clock, and I spend days getting together information about these people's ancestors to make the show worthwhile. At least, hopefully worthwhile. And I tell the clients, hey, just so you know, Sunday's all about you. Sunday's all about you. I'm going to talk about your ancestors, all about you. It's on Sunday, and they don't show up. And I was like, what the hell am I doing this for? So what I'm thinking about doing, I said about just stopping it, and then Dave said and Gerry said that I might just have a bad day, bad time frame, for everybody to watch. So I thought what I might do is change it up a little bit and do a show on a different day, different time, and then not just concentrate on my clients, but just pick a person, someone else, and just do a story about them. And I said, is that something that might interest you to do to work with? And she said, sure. So we'll figure out something.
Yep.
But I get so emotional when I do my broadcast, and sometimes people say it's too much. Sometimes people say it's not enough. But when I chose that one song, we're gonna have a party. There's going to be a party in Wahoo Swamp, right? It's in Florida, and you guys, Gerry might know about it, but the Wahoo Swamp. But so this guy, was a country western singer. He did very well. He sung with all these big acts, and then as shit happens, his career started going down the tube. So he decided to move down to Florida and to live out in the jungles, out in the swamp area. And he got a job working for the nature people and taking care of things. So, anyways, he started writing songs again, and he wrote the song about the First and Second Seminole War. And it just so happened to correspond to my client's ancestor, who was a major for the U.S. Army, who died in the Second Seminole War. So it worked together, right? But the guy, the music, that's why I was doing this, on the broadcast. And someone who watches your show, Dave, said that, what was that damn noise? I heard that noise, a bang. What was that? It was me beating to the music. It hit me, right? And I like this guy so much. So after I got off the show for the next hour, I'm Googling all his damn music, right? And I did send, I looked, I got an email, I sent an email and said, hey, just so you know, I used your song in my broadcast. I don't make any money from my broadcast, but I would love to use more of your music. Please, don't hit me for any royalties. And so I'm going through all these different songs and so forth that he did. And I came across this one at the very end. Was this notification that he had died, and that the children put this on there that he had passed away last year at the age of 90. That will, I don't have to worry about paying anything. But I just get so emotional. I get so involved with all my stuff, and I get all these songs, but then when the person doesn't show up. Right? Well, it's just disappointing because I did it for this person, or I did it for that person. I didn't do it for me. So that's why I thought I'd go into a different route. I do want to stay on Facebook doing broadcasts. I enjoy it. So I'm thinking about doing spaceships, aliens, UFOs, and some other stuff. And I'm just going to work it out somehow to make it work.
Try it.
But
Try it.
as long as I stay on, because I keep getting these damn notifications in 21 hours, you're going to be shut down. Well, okay, screw you. I'll wait 21 hours, see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to bounce off.
All right. You want to do it or you want me to do it?
Let me just increase the screen, and I will see you guys later.
All right, Randy.
Quick finger.
All I can say, no, go ahead, Gerry.
I gotta tell you, if I wasn't busy during the day, I would probably watch a lot more stuff. But since I've kind of revamped my life, I stay pretty busy all day with stuff that I haven't been doing in a long time. So that's why I don't get to watch it. But the aliens thing, I've always been interested in that.
Old cool dude needs to come and do a Florida special.
Yeah, I got bored with that. I quit doing it.
That was so cool, man. I could sit there for hours watching those. It just made me smile. Didn't matter what you were doing. If you were in the car driving, there was one. I think you were in the truck driving.
There's a few like that. The problem is that the ones in the truck, they found on because apparently I was making millions and I didn't know. I don't know. Now what we get if I sing something on like one of our shows, Russia will not allow it to be played. I literally will see this. Or yeah, that's another one. Yeah, and I gotta be truthful. I don't really care.
It was so stupid. My first serious record company copyright violation was Warner Rights Music Group, and they handle the copyrights for all of their artists and the copyrights that they own. And the guy was actually pretty cool. We talked for like an hour and a half, and he told me a whole bunch of things. And then I said to him, "How come every time you guys come after me for one, they only nail it in Belarus?" And the guy said, "Because to be honest with you, nobody that watches you or anybody else that does like what you do on Facebook watches you in Belarus."
Oh my gosh. So they just chose it as a place.
Well, first originally they scared the hell out of me, like they were going to kill 45 minutes of this one broadcast because we played their song and a song of theirs, and we didn't have permission, this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. And then we talked about it. And it was like, I don't understand why they do that. I mean, I really don't. But
it'd be different if we was making $1 million a year. I would love to do a show where you like play a song and talk about it and give some history and that kind of thing. Some stuff people may know, they may not know, whatever, but it's all out there together, a 3-hour show without a problem, and there's a lot of good, like I would probably be the 70s, there's a lot of crappy stuff in the 70s too, but there was a lot of good stuff in the 70s, I ain't talking about disco or, disco duck or any of that, but, no. It's just that, and even the 60s, even the 50s, where rock and roll really started, but to get the licensing and get all this stuff and all, it's like, it's not worth it.
It's so crazy.
It really is.
It is so crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, Dave, I got to get going too. So you have a great night. And thank you for having me on. Jenn, take care.
Thank you for coming on.
If you want to come on tomorrow night before I die on Thursday, you're welcome. But
I'm planning on coming on tomorrow. If you die tomorrow, then
Don't
we're
do that.
gonna broadcast your funeral live on Thursday night.
For the love
Yeah,
of God,
it's
stop that.
no, I
He's not
think it's
dying.
supposed to be here
You're
at
not
like
gonna
1 a.m. So there is a chance I might sleep through it, unless the roof flies off and I go to Oz.
Yeah.
Then we'll see how that goes. But you know,
Well, if you go flying
everybody
by,
gets rich.
let me know if you come flying by, because when you're over the house, we'll throw up the fresh charge tablet that you can use for the rest of the journey.
Oh, thank you. I
That's
appreciate
nice.
that.
At
Thanks.
least he's
All right.
connected.
Yeah, that's great, Dave.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Maybe
All right.
call the Air Force would be good. I don't know. Anyway, you guys have a
Yeah.
great night. We'll hopefully
All
see
right.
you tomorrow night.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, we'll
Bye.
be there. All right. Gerry Michaels, The American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday here on Facebook, The American Rebellion group, The American Rebellion blogger page. Wherever else it gets posted on Facebook, watch it, share it. It's over on Wimkin. Watch it, share it. And as I sniffle out of my nose, let me see. What are you doing on Thursdays? Hey, what are you doing on Thursdays? Straight Talk with Randy and Jenn and Randy.
I think we're going to dismantle Kamala's. He doesn't know this yet, but we're going to dismantle her whole platform, because there are people who are really disillusioned and they think this is the first woman president and they're so excited about this, and they're even chanting Lotus for POTUS. And I'm like, do you know what a lotus is? It's a swamp flower. It truly is. Well, yeah, it's pretty when it opens up in the morning, but at night it like closes back up and it goes back into the mud. It's like where there's frogs and lily pads, it's that flower that comes up. So it is pretty, but that's what Kamala means. And I'm like, no. And people are very disillusioned when she's talking about taking away money from the rich. Who do you think hires us middle class and lower class people? The rich. If you're going to take away money from the rich because you think you're self-righteous and we need more money, we're the ones who are going to pay for it. They're not going to, let their income be cut into with taxes from Kamala, and we're not going to pay for it. So everything she says is going to bite us in the
I
butt.
thought Kamala was black for Kamal.
No, I think it's Indian. She's definitely from India. Now, her father is white and her mother is from India. And her father, they said for the longest time, oh, he's black. He's from, was it
He's French Haitian.
Jamaican. Yeah, no, he's white.
Jamaican. Yeah,
He
you're
may
right.
have it in his blood, but he is white. And it's so sad how we're being so disillusioned. You know what he is, though, for sure, is a Marxist. And
He
yes,
taught that at Stanford.
right.
He had a lot of money teaching it at Stanford.
Every time she says we need to be unburdened by what has been, what she is basically saying is whatever you have right now, get rid of it. It's a burden. We're going to mow it over and put a road through it. Like, who were you the one talking about it? Eminent domain, I think.
No,
About
but Randy mentioned it. Some other people have too. That evidently that's how BlackRock was going to get the mineral rights to all the
North Carolina.
Is that the government was going to, under eminent domain, seize the land, and then probably turn around and sell the lots to BlackRock.
Yeah, it's crooked.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can understand if they came
to
an area where, say, they found a healthy lithium or gold or diamond mine under a neighborhood and said, we really need to encourage you to move. Houses in this neighborhood are worth $750,000, but we'll give you $500 if you pack up and go. Odds are some would go. The problem is that there would be people like me that if I bought the house, 40 years ago when I had started my business, if I bought the house, it was
right.
That was the house I was going to live in. That's the house I was going to die in. That's the house that, whoever would have would have inherited when I left. That 5-year-old kid probably would have grown up to be my daughter, and it would have gone to her.
Yeah, they don't want that anymore. Now it's
They don't want
theirs.
that. They don't want that.
Their way or the highway. Seriously.
Yeah, they don't
They
want it.
want him right.
So once you get a what do you call it, a reverse mortgage loan, where they loan you the value of your property and you pay it back by dying.
Yeah, you give them interest. You're not making, yeah.
Yeah.
And people
They
are
get
so,
payments
oh,
until
the,
you die, and then if you live too long, they probably want you out of there.
sad. I
You
hate
know?
those commercials. It's sad.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, I should go.
You should go. It's dinner
yeah,
it's dinner at the Woodruffs. Tonight we're having what?
Oh, tonight we got this kielbasa sausage.
You
And
know,
so I chop, kielbasa sausage. And then I chop it up with potatoes and onions and peppers. And it's delicious.
Yeah.
So that's a bad breath, but we're going to eat good tonight. So.
kielbasa with sweet and sour sauce and pineapple is also wickedly cool.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Like sweet and sour pork. It is really.
I'll have to try that. No, I put up a post on Facebook about potato soup. We have that. We have a lot of potatoes, so it's an Idaho thing. I don't know.
That's what Idaho does.
We grow potatoes.
Wasn't there that company, Idaho?
It's called Idaho potatoes. Yes.
Orida.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, there's that one too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and the potato chips. Oh, Boise's, because that's the capital is Boise.
Yep.
So it's a lot of fun. It's a great state.
Yep. All right, Jen. Thursday, you're welcome to be here. Tomorrow night is Wednesday. Gerry said you're welcome on the American Rebellion. If you're there, you're there. I hope you are.
Fun. We'll see. Yeah, I'll see. I think so. Thank you.
All right, Jen.
Bye. I'm trying.
I'm not kicking anybody. I'm not inflating anybody's parachutes anymore. I like watching people do it themselves.
Yeah, it's a struggle. Okay, thank you. Bye. No, I see. There you go. Okay, no, I have to say leave site. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. There she is. All right. Let's see. Jane O'Malley asked, the American Rebellion is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It is here on the American Rebellion blogger page on Facebook. I believe the American Rebellion group shared around Facebook as well. Jane O'Malley also said, Thomas Jefferson said, don't let the government get bigger than you. Well, Tom, I think it has gotten a lot bigger than all of us, and we can talk about that on Friday, 10 a.m., Red Friday morning caffeine with Bill Muckler and I. We always talk about things like that, so if anyone is in the neighborhood, drop on by and catch that. I am having a problem sharing. I go live and I try to do a bunch of live shares, and it counts the shares, but then they show up in my Facebook newsfeed as they did not load properly, and they show up in the groups that we have sent it into. So if you don't see it in a group that you normally watch it in, let me know, and I will make sure it gets there. Worst comes to worse, after we end the live stream in a few minutes, when I stop rambling, hopefully all of the shares that we sent out will in fact get the broadcast. So we're kind of playing with Restream and trying to see how we can get it to work. So my suggestion is, if you're watching the broadcast and you like the broadcast, share the broadcast everywhere you can on Facebook. Take it off of Facebook if you go off of Facebook, and share it off of Facebook. Although if you're going to share it around the internet, go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, scroll down until you find it, take the broadcasts from there and share them anywhere you want on the internet. Just let me know where you're sharing them, not because I'm concerned. I just want to know where you're sharing it, because if we build followings on other social media networks, we'll do what we can to get it on other social media networks. Anyway, I want to say goodnight to Chuck Cook, Jane O'Malley. Always a pleasure when you watch. Let me scroll up further. Izzy Wilshire, it was really a pleasure having you here. William Grant, it was a pleasure having you here. William Grant has watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts in the entire history of Boogie with the Bull than anybody else, even me, because I think I've only watched 10 in like the 6 years that we've been doing it. So by all means, share and share and share and share. Like Mark Melvin, you were the last one to come in, and I'm glad that you did tune in. Share the broadcast. Go back and watch the beginning in a few minutes when the podcast hits. And we're still working on, like I said, trying to figure out what the problem is with Facebook and why our live shares are not going out live. So we tried something different tonight. So when we end the broadcast, it's quite possible that the live shares we sent out may actually post on the group, in the groups that we did. If not, we're doing our best. We're doing our best. Otherwise, go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and watch us there. Monday and Wednesday, Randy and I at 10 a.m. Eastern. Tuesday and Thursday night with Jenn and Gerry if he's around, and Randy if he's around, and anyone else who wants to join us is always welcome to join us. The more people involved, the more opinions you get to hear, and that's what we want. Think for yourself, hear what we tell you, offer what you want to tell us. At the end of the broadcast, do some thinking, and you decide. The most important thing you have to do as an American citizen is on November 5th, go and vote. If you have the option to vote early where you are and you want to do that, go and vote early. Yes, if you have to vote by mail because you're disabled like me, or an absentee ballot because you're disabled like me, then that is what you need to do. And you need to get a hold of your city or county election people and figure out clerks and find out how you get the absentee ballot sent to you. But please, 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 please go and vote. As I say, I don't really care who you vote for, but you need to go and vote. I do really care who you vote for. I personally hope that you're going to vote for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. And as Jenn hinted around, that President Trump and Vice President is going in the right direction. And in 2028, President Vance will move us through until 2032. And in 2032, he'll take us even further until 2036. And we will be so much the better. Okay. You know, a lot of things can be corrected very quickly, and we can be going in the direction that we want to be going instead of the wrong direction that people insist on trying to take us into. So please vote. Listen to other people around you and vote accordingly. And thank you for watching. Our next one is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Wednesday morning caffeine. Randy Rhodes and I will be here, probably covering a lot of the same stuff that we covered today and some more stuff. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on with Hurricane Melvin coming through Florida. And then we'll hope to be on the American Rebellion at 7 p.m. again here on Facebook and Wimkin. And then that's what we're doing. Anyway, my mind is going blank, so it's time to probably call it a night and go on and do what we need to do and what you need to do. And I'm going to plug my phone in and let it charge because I'm outlets short, so I had to unplug my phone. Let's take a look at this one more time and see. Yeah, we got up to 100 views today, which is very good. We have 24 shares that it counted that we did, but it didn't post everywhere. But it says that we have 100 people watching, which means that we're slowly getting back to where we should be. And I appreciate everybody who watches. And this is a good time to say you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. If you want to take any portion of this broadcast and use it, please do. Suggest that people watch us. We'll suggest that people watch you. And that's the best that we can do. So on that note, I'm going to say double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. One more time, double V's for victory. There you go. Yes, double V's for victory.